Imagine you are 16 years old. You are the king of Jerusalem. Your body is being eaten alive by a disease that has no cure. You cannot feel your hands. Your face is disfigured. Everyone around you is already planning for your death. And then the most powerful military leader in the world, Saladin, marches toward your kingdom with an army that outnumbers yours 10 to 1. What do? If you are Baldwin IV, the Leper King, you get on your horse, you raise your sword, and you ride directly into battle. And you win. This is not fiction. This happened on November 25, 1177, at the Battle of Montgisard. And it is one of the greatest stories of human willpower ever recorded. Baldwin was born in 1161 to King Amalric of Jerusalem. He was a prince in the Crusader kingdom, a state carved out of the Holy Land by European Christians. When Baldwin was 9, his tutor William of Tyre noticed something wrong. Baldwin could not feel pain in his right arm. He was tested. The diagnosis was leprosy. In the 12th century, leprosy was not just a disease. It was a divine curse. It meant you were being punished by God. It meant you were already dead. Your body just had not caught up yet. Baldwin knew this. Everyone knew this. And yet when his father died 3 years later, the 13-year-old boy was crowned king of Jerusalem. Think about what this required. Baldwin could have retreated. He could have become a monk, a hermit, a forgotten footnote in history. Instead, he chose to rule. He chose to fight. He chose to lead a kingdom while his own body betrayed him day by day. His hands became claws. His face became unrecognizable. He wore a silver mask in public so people could look at their king without recoiling. He learned to ride horses using only his knees because he could no longer grip the reins with his fingers. He commanded armies from horseback while unable to feel the saddle beneath him. This is not just courage. This is something beyond courage. This is a human being refusing to be defined by what is happening to them. Then came Montgisard. Saladin, the great Muslim commander who would later retake Jerusalem, had assembled an army of over 20,000 men. Baldwin had fewer than 500 knights and a few thousand infantry. Saladin was so confident that he let his army spread out to raid the countryside. He did not believe Baldwin would attack. He did not believe a leper king could fight. He was wrong. Baldwin rode out of Ascalon with his small force, linked up with the Knights Templar, and attacked Saladin's scattered army at Montgisard. The 16-year-old king fought in the front line. Contemporary accounts say he was in the forefront of the battle. A leper, unable to feel his own wounds, leading a charge against the most feared general in the world. Saladin's army was routed. He lost 90% of his men. One of his nephews was killed. Saladin himself barely escaped on a camel. It was a miracle, and the miracle had a name. But the story does not end there. After Montgisard, Baldwin's disease accelerated. By 1182, he was going blind. His hands and feet were so damaged he could barely walk. He had to be carried in a litter. And yet he continued to rule. He negotiated with Saladin. He managed the endless political infighting among his nobles. He planned his succession carefully, knowing he would have no children of his own because leprosy had made marriage impossible. He had his nephew Baldwin V crowned as co-king to ensure the kingdom would survive after his death. Every decision he made was shadowed by the knowledge that he was dying. But he never stopped making decisions. There is a famous moment from 1183 that captures Baldwin's will perfectly. Saladin had besieged the fortress of Carrick. Baldwin was so weak he could no longer ride or walk. He was carried in a litter to the battlefield. A dying man, being hauled to war, because his kingdom needed him. When Saladin heard that Baldwin himself was approaching, he lifted the siege and withdrew. He did not want to face the Leper King again. Even at the end, Baldwin IV commanded respect from his enemies. He died in 1185 at the age of 23. 2 years later, without him to unite the kingdom, Jerusalem fell to Saladin at the Battle of Hattin. The kingdom Baldwin had held together with sheer will collapsed the moment his will was gone. What can we learn from Baldwin IV? Everything. This is a man who had every reason to give up. A fatal disease. Constant pain. A body that disgusted everyone who saw it. Political enemies who wanted him replaced. An unstoppable military genius on his doorstep. And he did not give up. Not once. He ruled for 11 years. He won battles. He kept a kingdom alive. He died a king, not a victim. Nietzsche wrote about the will to power. Baldwin lived it. He could not even feel his own hands. And yet he held a sword and charged into battle. He could not see, and yet he saw clearly what needed to be done for his kingdom to survive. The Leper King is not just a historical figure. He is proof that the body can fail completely and the will can still triumph. He is the answer to anyone who says they cannot go on. You can. Baldwin IV proved it.